Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
So tell other to join the class. Now the public result. Tell other to join. The skin is visible to you, Mita. The skin for interface.
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
So we are in the part for interface. Basically, inheritance portion is already. In our last class, we have already started the basic concept for inheritance, that how we can achieve the abstraction. And for 100% abstraction, we are using the concept of interface. And in Java, what is the interface? It is nothing but the fully abstract class. That means whatever the method that you will declare inside the interface, it will be abstract. Okay. So this is the basic concept for interface in Java, that it is a fully abstract class. All the methods that you will define inside the class will be abstract. Otherwise, we'll get some error. Now, question is that these are the functionality that is already discussed in the last class, that why we will use the concept.
ম্যাম
Yes.
ম্যাম আপনি কি ওই ইন্টারফেস ফাইলটা খুলেছেন? আমাদের শুধু ওই ফাইল নেমগুলো শো করছে।
Okay. It's not already there. Now it is visible to you.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
yes.
The skin for interface is visible to you now. The skin for interface is visible to you.
Yes, ma'am.
So we are in the part that the basic concept for interface. The first point I have mentioned in this class, that interface is a fully abstract class. Okay. So the first point that you need to know about interface, that all the methods that you will declare inside the interface, that must be abstract. Okay. So the syntax for defining that interface is, whenever you will write down the name of the method, you don't need to write down the abstract keyword in front of the method name, because it has a prior knowledge for Java that whenever you are declaring the terms that is interface, so by default all the method that will be declared inside that inside that class will be abstract. Okay, so I don't need to write down the abstract keyword in front of the method. That is the first part. Now, the next point is that before moving on to the using of the interface or implementation of the interface, you first need to know about the point that why we will use the interface. Okay, we are now have the knowledge that why we are using classes and why we are using the abstract class. This is a special type of class, and now there is the point you need to know that why we'll use one special type of class that is known as the interface, or you can say that is the fully abstract class. The first point you need to know that interface will be used to achieve the abstraction. And now what is the meaning of this abstraction? Abstraction means only the name of the activity will be provided to you, not the internal details. All the internal details, or you can say that is the implementation details, will be hidden from you. If this can be achieved, if you want to achieve this part, then you will go for the abstraction. Okay, so for that part, you need to go for the interface, because using interface, you are providing only the name of the method, not the implementation body of the method. That's why the first point is written here, that it is used to achieve the abstraction. And you can say that fully abstraction, that means the 100% abstraction can be achieved whenever you are using the interface. And here lies the difference between the abstract class as well as the interface. Look at that point, that whenever you will using the abstract class, that class may contain a concrete method or the non-abstract method. But this is not the case for the interface. Whenever you are declaring interface, that means all the methods that you have just defined, not defined, that declared inside that class must be abstract. Okay, so here lies the basic difference between the abstract class as well as the interface. Now the second point, this is most vital point and a popular topic for the Java programming language, that the concept of multiple inheritance. We all know that the concept for multiple inheritance cannot be directly implemented in Java. Okay, we already know the reason behind it, that multiple inheritance means there are two superclass and one subclass. One subclass want to achieve or want to reuse the code for the two parent class. If this is the scenario, then we can say this is the case for the multiple inheritance. And what will happen whenever the two parent class have a method with the same name, then there will be a confusion that which method will be inherited or will be not inherited only, will be implemented by the subclass, because the name of the method is same, as well as if the return type of the method as well as the parameter signature, just like the case for the method overriding. If all the signatures, all the name of the method as well as the return type of the method are same for the two parent class, then there will be a confusion for the subclass that which method will be executed during the runtime. Okay, so for that reason, multiple inheritance cannot be achieved directly in Java. But if you are using the concept of interface, or by the concept of interface, you can resolve this problem. Today we will see that how this problem can be resolved using interface. Okay, so this is the big achievement for interface, that it will be used to resolve the problem for multiple inheritance in Java programming language. And the next part that is already discussed, that interface can be used to achieve loosely coupling. This is related to your software engineering. Coupling means this is the degree of interaction between several modules. If you are following the modular approach to develop a particular software, at that time the interaction between several modules will be known as the coupling. And look at that point. Whenever you are dealing with the coupling terms, that means you want to achieve some abstraction. Less number of interaction between model between several module of the software development process means you need to provide the abstraction. Okay, so that you are not providing the internal details for that each and every module. If you are hiding this part, then there will be a concept for loose coupling. Okay, so this loose coupling can also be achieved using the concept of interface. These are the three basic utility or application that belongs to the interface concept. Next, we will see that the declaration syntax. I think this part is already discussed with you. Okay, I am just repeating for your convenience once more. That is the syntax for defining the interface. The interface keyword, you should written down the interface keyword at the very beginning. Then after you need to write down the name of the interface. Now the name of the interface is user defined. Okay, and after that within the second bracket you need to write down the data member of the interface. And for this time or for the beginning purpose, just consider that here is only the method. Okay, here is only the method and all the method by default are abstract method. Okay, so what I am telling just now, right now, that is you need to write down the interface keyword, then the name of the interface. This interface name is user defined, and then within the second bracket, you need to write down the data member that belongs to this interface or fully abstract class. Okay, and for this time being, we are just considering that this interface or this abstract class, fully abstract class, only contains the abstract method. Now, if you want to write down the abstract method, what we will do, just go for one example. Look at this. In this case, here is an interface, that is name of the interface is printable, and within this interface, within this second bracket, we are just written down one method name, that is the return type void and print, and after that there is a semicolon. That means here is the end of the instruction. That means we are only declaring the name of the method. That means by default it is an abstract, because this method doesn't contain any body or any instruction set that it will be implemented later. That's why it is an abstract method. Now here is also a difference with the abstract class. In case of abstract class, you need to write down the abstract keyword explicitly in front of the method that you are declaring of the inside the abstract class. But this is not the case for the interface. Whenever you are defining the interface, you just need to write down the name of the method with its return type. You don't need to write down the abstract keyword here. This is the difference. Okay, and the next difference, that this is the declaration of the interface, syntax of declaration. And next in the this class, that is A6, here is one difference, that is the keyword implements. Look at that, whenever we are using the concept of inheritance, at that time we are written down here, this is the extend. Okay, but this is the difference for the interface. Although interface is a class, but you need to write down here implements. You need to write down here the keyword implements in case of any interface. Okay, here is also a difference. Now look at this. In class A6, we are implementing the interface that is printable. So in which class you will just implement the method, you need to write down the body of the method or set of instruction of the method. So what do you need to do? You need to write down the void print method here, and within that method you need to write down, here we have just written down one statement, printing statement, that is hello. And here is also I want to mention one point, that is this keyword or this access specifier public. It is the syntax for interface that whenever you are implementing any abstract method that are declared inside the interface, you need to write down the keyword or access specifier public in front of that method whenever you are implementing that method in a subclass or in a class which will implement the interface. Okay, so 3 points I have mentioned here. First point, that you don't need to write down the abstract keyword in front of the method which are declared inside the interface. This is first point. And the second point is you need to write down the keyword implements instead of the keyword extend whenever we are using the interface concept. And the third point I have mentioned here that whenever you are implementing any abstract method that are defining inside the that are declaring inside the interface, that must be preceded with the access specifier public. Okay, this is the rules for Java programming language. Now look what will happen. In the main method, within the main method, we are just creating the object of the A6 class, and after that we are just calling the printing method. So the output will be the hello. This is the basic concept for the interface. That is why what is interface first, next why we will use interface, and the third point is the declaration syntax as well as the implementation example for any interface. So any doubt till now, so that we will move for the next part. Any doubt till now? Concept of interface, why we will use interface, what is the syntax for declaring interface, and one example for implementing that interface. Any doubt regarding this 4 point? Any doubt? Mithilesh, any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Next, we will move for one part. Let's look at this figure that I have just skipped. Okay, here is the relationship between the classes and the interface. This is most also important. Look, what will happen whenever we are writing any interface? Okay, whenever we are writing any interface, this is a normal syntax. That within interface, you are just written here one interface, that is printable, and inside that interface, we are declaring one variable here and one method. And what is happened by the compiler, that whenever you will executing this part, that it will be converted into this line. That means, look at this. This is printable.java. Now this is the bytecode. That means that is printable.class. So after compiling, what is happened? The happening thing is, whatever the variable that you have declared inside this interface, that must be treated as a static and final. That must be defined as a static and final. And the next thing that I want to mention you, that the print method, you don't need to write down here the explicitly that is the abstract method, because it is the compiler responsibility that it will convert it into the abstract method. Okay, and it will be preceded with the, these two will be preceded with the public access specifier. Okay, this is happened behind the computer screen or behind your interface. Okay, that you have just written down in your skin. And the next thing that I have already mentioned to you, that is the case for the class as well as for the interface, that whenever we are extending or we are inheriting any class, at that time you will need to use the keyword that is extend. And whenever a class want to inherit the properties of interface, it needs to write down here that is the keyword implements. Whenever is a class, or whenever a class, you can say it as a class, that want to access the code for that is written inside the interface, you need to written down here the terms that is the keyword implements. Okay, but if you want to do the inheritance concept between two interface, at that time you need to write down the extend keyword. Here you will not be able to allow the using the keyword that is extend, that is implements. Okay, so keep in your mind that whenever you are using the code for another class by a class, then you will be using the keyword extend. And whenever a class will use the property or the resource of a interface, it needs to be written down the implements keyword. And whenever an interface, that means a fully abstract class, want to inherit the property of another fully abstract class, then you need to write down here the concept, the keyword that is extend. So this part you need to keep in your mind before doing any programming of using the concept of inheritance as well as using the concept of interface. Okay. Now we'll go for this is one example. You can check this example later. Okay. Next we'll move for the most important part, that is, look at this. This is the example for the several interest rate of several banks that will provide it, and using the concept of interface. This is a common example. Most of the time you'll get this type of example, and you will be asked to write down the output of this program. And this same program I have asked you to do at the abstract class also. That is, you need to define several rate of interest for several banks using the concept of abstract class. Here the same program is written with the concept of interface. Now look at it. Sometimes in the one question it may arise to your mind that why all the method will be defined as an abstract method inside the interface. If you are just using the same thing using the concept of class, then what will happen? Now look at this. If you are writing here any rate of interest, this look at this particular program. What is happening here? Here one interface that is named as a bank, that is defined. Okay, and inside this bank interface we are just defining one method, that is the rate of interest. It will calculate the rate of interest of several banks, and we all know that several banks may provide several type of interest. Okay, and this is the written type of this method. Now whenever we are talking about the SBI bank, its rate of interest is different, and whenever we are talking about several other bank, that is here it is written down as a PNB, its rate of interest is different. So what is happening, if you want to use this rate of interest method inside the interface and you want to implement this method here, just because you are not using the concept of interface, you are using the concept of class, then what will be the utility of this method? What you will implement or what type of instruction you will be written down inside this method? Can anyone of you tell me that which type of instruction or what are the instruction that you will provide inside this method if you are not declaring it as an abstract? Student, student. আজকে শুট করে দেবো, আমরা চেক করে নেবো। ক্লাসটা নিয়ে যাই, তারপর সাবমিট
কিন্তু ওই একটা বাকি রয়েছে।
দেখে নিচ্ছি কার নামে টাইগার ডকুমেন্টটা নেই ট্যাগ করার, সব ট্যাগিং করে। Credential-এ ঢুকে আমি এখান থেকে দিয়ে দেবো। ঠিক আছে। Okay, so can anyone tell me that what will be the set of instruction that can be written inside this rate of interest method if you are using the class concept instead of this interface? Any set of important instruction there that must be present inside this rate of interest? I think the answer will be no, because you are providing a generalized view. You are providing a generalized view of rate of interest. That's why it is written here It is a relationship. That means we are now talking about the concept of generalization and specialization. So your interface, this belong to a generalization concept. But that rate of interest, it may be specialized for the SBI bank, it may be specialized for the PNB bank. So if you look out at the top to bottom manner, then it will be the concept of specialization. From this common concept rate of interest, we are specialized with rate of interest one for SBI bank and one another for the PNB bank. So if we just view this modular approach in a top to bottom manner, then it will be the example for specialization. And if you just view this concept in the reverse way, that means you are just combining this PNB as well as the SBI to the upper bounds, that is the rate of interest, then it will be the concept that is known as the generalization. So if you are using any class concept instead of interface here, then what will happen? The thing is that you don't have any specific instruction to be written down inside this rate of interest method, because there is no specific task for this particular method. The task must be implemented whenever you are talking about a specific bank. Okay, that's why it, here it will be used, it will be a real life use for the interface. Clear? So this is one important point, and the next part that you need to know, that it will go for the special one, that is the multiple inheritance. At this, first look at this example. We are we are creating two interface. That means two fully abstract class. One is printable and another is showable. Inside the printable, we are using one print method, and for showable interface, we are using one show method. Look at this. The method name is different here, so there is no concept for method overriding. So here we are using two interface, that are the fully abstract class, and one contain the method that is named as a print and another contain a method that is named as a show. After that, what is happening? A class named A7, it just implements the both of the interfaces, that is printable and showable. Okay. So what is happened inside the inside the class A7? You need to implement the print method as well as the show method. Here for the print method, we are just providing one SOP statement, that is hello, and for the show method, we are providing one SOP statement, that is welcome. Okay. And inside the main method, we are creating one object of this A7 class, and we just call this to method. So here is the concept, or here is the case, or here you can say that here is a scenario that one subclass are using the properties of two superclass. One subclass using the properties of two superclass. This printable and showable are the interface, and interface is nothing but the fully abstract class. So if we go for this line, that is class A7 implements printable and showable, that means it supports the concept for multiple inheritance, because multiple inheritance means there will be one subclass and two parent class or two superclass. So if we are doing this part, then definitely it will support the concept for multiple inheritance. Now look at this. This is a common example. This is a simple example for multiple inheritance. So what will be the output? Here the output will be hello and welcome for both this method, that is for print as well as for show. Now this program cannot resolve the problem for method overriding. That is the actual reason why we are not be able to use the concept of multiple inheritance in Java. For this part, here is the solution. With this example, we are just changing the name of the method. Instead of written down here the show method, we are just change the method name print here. Okay. Two interfaces declared, one is printable and another is showable, and inside these two interface we are defining one method. The name of the method is print. So whenever a particular class, here it is written here, test interface C, implement these two interface. For both the method, there is no specific instruction for the print method, so that the class test interface C, this particular class can implement this print method in its own way. That means it can written down here hello as well as a welcome, whatever be the message or whatever be the other instruction that not be restricted to the instruction for the print statement. There may be other set of instruction. So this is the real life example that can provide you the concept of multiple inheritance whenever you are using the interface. Okay, here both are the superclass, that is printable and showable, and both contain one particular method, that is the print, and the name of the method is same, the return type of the method is same, as well as there is no parameter here. So if you are just using this concept, that means you are inheriting two parent class inside a subclass, and there will be no confusion for the print method, that which version of the print method will be implemented during runtime. That is, just to recall the concept of multiple inheritance and method overriding, as well as the dynamic method dispatch. Look at this, no confusion will be arise whenever you are written down here public void print, because inside this class here is the chance that you are implementing the method. That means you are writing down the set of instruction. Okay, and inside this class you are writing down the statement in your own way. So whenever you are creating the object of this class and using that object, you are calling the print method, only this print method will be invoked. So there will be no confusion for a specific version of the print method that can be resolved during the runtime. Okay, so this is the example for the multiple inheritance whenever we are using the concept of interface. Clear? So this part I think okay. And here is another example. So any confusion from the multiple inheritance part? Any confusion? Because this part is much more vital in case of Java programming language. Any confusion for multiple inheritance, that how multiple inheritance problem can be resolved using interface? Any query? Any query?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Okay, one more thing that I just want to mention in this node, that is the extend keyword. Look at this. We are showing one figure inside this node, that is extend keyword can also be used for interface. Whenever one interface one use the code that is written here inside the another interface. I want to reuse it, whatever you can say. At that time, this is just like similar of the concept of inheritance or class. So that you need to write down interface showable extend. Now, whenever there is the case for two interface, don't write down here the keyword implements. Implements keyword only be written whenever you are using the interface, using the concept of one subclass will be inheriting the concept of or properties of the particular interface. But if this is the case for two interface, that is showable and printable here, so you need to write down extend keyword. Okay. What will be the case? Whenever this is the case that one interface is extending another interface, so at that time it is the responsibility of the child class to implement both the method. Look at this here, the class interface only implements showable, and showable will contain only one method, that is show. But in spite of that, since the showable method extending the printable method, so it is the responsibility for the child class to implement both the method, that is for print as well as for show. Okay, this is the point, and that's why I am just showing you this example. So the remaining part is same, just like your previous one, that within the void, within the main method, you are just creating the object of this test interface for class, and then you can just call this to me. This is the main point, that whenever you are you are using the concept of extending one interface by another interface. So at that time, it is the main responsibility of the child class so that it can implement all the method for both the interfaces. Otherwise, there will be an error. Here, so this is the whole concept for interface. Just go through these notes, and if you have any doubt, you can ask me in the chat box as well as you can also ask me in my WhatsApp group. Okay. Any query till now?
No, ma'am.
Okay, fine. And I think after this class there will be a puja vacation. So take preparation for this subject. And one more thing just I want to mention you that there will be a date for CA3 that will be at the end of the November. Please try to do your assignment during this time. Don't make it in a hurry at that time. I am mentioning this part at the beginning of this month. There will be a date for submission of CA3 that is at the end of the November. There will be only two or sorry, not only two. I think there will be 5%. Okay, so try to write down the assignment and try to submit it prior the due date. The same thing will be happen for your lab class also. Whenever there will be the lab class, that during that lab class, all the lab assignment will be executing. Okay, so at that time, please write down the program as well as its output, so that there will be no necessity for asking the other student to provide you the lab copy or lab assignment and submit it prior the due date. Okay, I am ending this class right now. Dearly to all of you.